guys, welcome to the channel. This is Michelle here at Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are doing great. Today is Tuesday. I hope that the work week so far has been treating you well and all that good stuff. And as you guys come trickling in, I hope that those of you who are new to the channel decide to stick around. Welcome. And yeah, I hope you like what you see here and, resonate with the message. And if you do, you can always hit that like button and subscribe. Help support the channel and, stay in touch with me. You can also hit the notification bell so that you know when I'm on. And for those of you who have already been rocking with your girl for a bit, welcome back and thank you for the continued support. So with that said, that's probably the fastest I've ever done an introduction ever. um, Under a minute. Yeah, no one's here yet, but as you guys start coming in, I'll kind of explain what's going on with this reading, and then we'll go from there. I want to just make sure I'm not talking to myself. I do see one person. Alright, let's see. Maybe I'll get started. Alright, so as you guys saw in the title, this is going to be a general message, and this is for the overthinkers and those with anxiety. You've been in your head a lot, thinking too much, and you are, really reeling in there. I get it. I understand. So what we're going to do tonight, we're going to look into that, like see where this stuff might be stemming from and why you might be feeling the way that you've been feeling. And we're going to also debut 2 new decks that I've purchased. So the first one we'll be looking into is You're Fine. It says a reality check deck. The world isn't ending. It just feels that way sometimes. This is a deck for the overthinking and those with anxiety. So how fitting is that? And the other deck that we're going to be debuting on the channel, new deck, is the Urban Truth Oracle. So let's get started. I've already cleansed the space and myself. And I have my little fur baby companion over here on my lap. She always does this. It's really cute. Every time I read, she always wants to be super close. I mean, she's always close to me anyway, but she's like always close when I read. It's really funny and cute at the same time. All right, Spirit. So I let positive energy into this reading for the collective. Show the collective what they need to see at this time for their highest, for the clearest and most accurate messages, please and thank you. All right, let's split the deck and see what we got going on with you guys. Okay, so starting out, when we split the deck, we have Walk Away. It says some battles are not worth winning. And we also have Choose Yourself. It says you are allowed to come first. So maybe I'm setting boundaries. I wouldn't be shocked if setting boundaries were to show up. So maybe you've been putting off or overthinking something about walking away. Maybe you feel guilty for doing such a thing, whether you're walking away from a relationship or people in your life who no longer serve you and your highest good, a job, so on and so forth, whatever the case may be for you. Putting yourself first so that way you're not pouring into an empty situation and depleting yourself is what I'm picking up on so far. All right, so let's do a few shuffles. I'm going to get a few from here. Get the ball rolling. All right, Spirit, what does the collective need to know? All right, let's see. Hey, Allie, how are you? That's my bestie's name. Hopefully she'll pop in. Let's see. Stop texting them. If they wanted to reply, they would. So some of you guys might have been overextending in some type of connection with somebody, whether it's romantic or a friend, a family member, something like that. And maybe you're realizing that you're pouring into it more than they're pouring into it. I'm getting something like that. You might be getting to a point where it's like, you're like, damn, like this person, if I don't reach out to them, I never hear from them. Or they always want something when they do happen to reach out. I just picked up on something like that. We have on the top of the deck, it says everything is weird. Nobody knows what they're doing. So for some, it could be a work-related thing too. Like that looks like people like, around a desk like at a meeting or something. Interesting. Everything will be okay. Maybe not perfect, but okay. I knew you were going to pop in, Allie. I just felt it. The person above you, her name is, or their name, I don't know. I'm assuming a female, but I could be wrong. Allie. But hey, Sit Star / Soli. bestie. What's up, my love? What's up? What's up? Check my girl out from Phoenix Priestess. She is awesome. Alright, let's see. What else does the collective need to know? Get some messages on the board. You are enough right now as you are. Getting people who are perfectionists, beat themselves up when something isn't going according to plan. Things like that. Getting all up in your head. I get it. You have, you're fine. The world isn't ending. It just feels that way sometimes. Take a nap. I literally just just did that a little while ago. I was extremely tired today. Like, I didn't even do shit at work. It was such a waste of time. And I'm just like, we all were just like, why are we here? And we had to stay there till 1:30. No kids there, but we had to stay there. There was an ice cream social. We had to at least show our face. And administrators would have remembered who they didn't see too. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm gonna have to go. When I came home, I ate and then I went to sleep. And that nap was awesome. This is temporary. Even chaos expires. Yeah. So even chaos expires when shit is hitting the fan and everything feels like it's falling apart right around you. Just know that you are enough and you are going to be okay. Trust yourself. It's in the middle of the deck. You know more than you realize. So sometimes, we're sitting there overthinking, constantly trying to figure shit out. And it's like we have a deep inner knowing and knowledge that we should start to honor more. I'm going to say we because I agree with that wholeheartedly. And I resonate with that. Because I tend to, like, brush things under the rug or sweep things under the rug or whatever. And I second guess my intuition and things like that about stuff and my gut instincts. I'm getting that, you guys probably do the same thing, and it's like then that causes you to overthink and you spiral, and then you end up kind of in a loop, So, important for us to recognize, when we actually are a lot more knowledgeable than we give ourselves credit for. You're not behind. Everyone's pretending to have it together. You don't need to. So, the people around you, maybe sometimes you feel like people are advancing in their lives more than you are, or you're like, how is it I'm doing the same thing, or, what you might even deem as, more than some people, and you're like, but yet they have everything going for them, and I'm still struggling. I feel like that sometimes, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm just like, you guys might resonate with this, like, you're like, damn, like, I feel like I'm doing everything right. I don't understand. Hey, blessings, what up, my love? What up, what up, what up? But yeah, like, you might feel like that sometimes. Like, I always feel like, especially at my age and stuff, like, I'm getting older, and I'm 40, and I just feel like, career-wise, I'm doing okay, but in other areas of my life, I'm like, damn, I see other people around me doing all these great things. I'm not saying it like as a hater or anything. I'm actually super happy for everybody. It inspires me to try to, keep on striving for the things I would like to achieve in my life, but I just feel like I'm behind. So some of you guys might feel very, very similar to that. Let me know in the comments if that resonates at all. We have not your problem. You can care without carrying it. Ooh, boundaries. Wow. Okay. Carrying the load of other people's bullshit when it's not yours to carry. Letting people handle their own stuff. Maybe holding on to other people's stuff becomes your problem in the sense of it drags you down. Carrying other people's baggage. Drink water. Hydration first. Existential crisis later. I'm done. So I'm getting taking care of your physical body, right? Staying hydrated, very important. I did not drink as much water today as I usually do. I didn't do terrible, but I didn't drink as much as I would like. I've been drinking 3 to 4 liters of water a day. I think today I only had 2. So, yeah, the night is still young. I'll make sure I drink another bottle of water before I go to sleep. We're trying to work on that. All right. That's the whole purpose of this reading. Stop overthinking. Your brain is replaying that embarrassing moment from 2012. Let it go. So maybe I'm getting coulda, woulda, shoulda, damn. If I would have did this way, then I wouldn't be in this predicament. But it's like, thinking about it now, was it going to change? Nothing, right? What's happening is what's happening. Yeah, I live in the present. Dwelling upon, the past is not going to, have any bearing on your future at all, right? Live in the present. Make better choices now that will enhance your way of life in the future, if that makes any sense. We have say no on the bottom. Say no. No is a complete sentence. I love saying that because it's so true. Absolutely 100% true. Do less. Productivity is not your personality. So some of you guys might be overworkers. I'm also getting that might be one of the ways you like fill a void. Um, Always on the go, always doing something, maybe so you don't have to sit down and be with your thoughts or your feelings. Because once you, that might be confirmation. Because once you are alone and you're, why here, like Cool J, I need love. When I'm alone in my room, I sit and stare at the walls. But yeah, like, yeah, your nighttime thoughts are probably one of the things that really get to you, huh? I'm getting people who wake up at like 3 and 4 in the morning. She's fucking annoying, trust me, I know. Yeah, dwelling upon things, and it's like, get out of there, and don't overwork yourself because of the fact that you're trying to just, you know, bypass having to, have these feelings. I'm getting grounded, something like that. Do like grounding exercises or something before bedtime, meditation, things like that, journaling. Everybody's got like their thing that works for them. That doesn't, like, those things might not work for you, but you can look at different ways that you can, clear your head before you go to sleep. So that way, when you go to sleep, you're not dwelling upon thoughts from 2012, like they said in the card. Again, this is temporary, so it's like, everything's temporary. You know what I mean? Now, granted, some of our choices could yield, long-term, ramifications, but, things that already have taken place, there's no point of dwelling upon it now. Do what's necessary to, again, prep yourself for a better future and a better outlook. All right, let's get maybe 2 more. You belong exactly where you are. Sometimes you might feel like an outcast, black sheep kind of person. You belong. You're worthy. Don't forget that. Even when you don't feel like you are, you are. Be patient. Be patient with yourself is what I'm getting. Growth takes time. Growth takes time. And let them go. Not everybody is meant to stay. Adios. Yeah. Lower your expectations. Peace starts here. Even your expectations of self, right? Like, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I looked up. Like, if you are, always setting the bar so high for yourself or people around you, there's nothing wrong with having standards. That's fine. But when you're setting even your own self up for failure and you can't even meet the standards that you're meeting, then that becomes problematic. Again, you're not perfect. Nobody is. And then you end up spiraling, and then you're beating yourself up when you don't accomplish a goal, things like that. Hey, Care Bear, what's up? How are you, my love? Welcome back. I'm hoping that makes sense, but yeah, can't be stuck in there, man. One more from here, Spirit. Wow. That was that for a last message from here. Good enough. Perfection is exhausting. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Perfection is exhausting. You're always trying, like, again, I said something about that. I was like, I'm getting perfectionist. I literally said that. People who, again, you set the bar so high for yourself, and then when you don't accomplish what it is that you set out to, then you beat yourself up. And it creates this snowball effect. I was exhausted today, Care Bear. I was exhausted. I was like, I was telling everybody else, I was like, I didn't do shit at work today. I literally did nothing. I was there till 1:30 because they let us out early after ice cream social. And I just wanted to go I was like, guys, why are we here? Why are they holding us hostage on the last day? Can we just go? The kids are not here. Why? Why? For why? So I came home at 8, and then I took like a 2-hour nap, and it felt heavenly. And I honestly was still tired, but I was like, if I stay asleep too long, then I'm not going to be able to go to sleep in the nighttime. So I don't want to do that. There you go. Slow down. I was like I said, people who are always on the go, right? Slow down. Life isn't a race. You don't have to outrun it. Take a breath. Yeah, take a breather. You don't have to do everything all the time. Sit the fuck down. Because again, a lot of you guys, if you're resonating with this message, you overdo things, you overwork and shit like that, so you don't have to think about anything. But it's like it's you still end up overthinking later. So it's like, does it really help? You're dragging you're dragging your body into the ground, and then your mind's still fucked up. So it's like, are you really helping yourself? Spirit's getting blunt with you guys tonight. We have choose yourself here again on the top. Set boundaries. Your peace is allowed to exist. Yes, we picked up on boundaries earlier too. Exactly. Now, granted, I feel drawn to pull one more. I said that was it, but no, they said one more. Yeah, maybe, it's funny because I asked for 5 cards from here, and I feel inclined to pull one more. I'm wondering if it's because that number 6 represents balance. Balancing it out, balancing your thoughts, right? Balancing work and life, and all of that. Work-life balance is very important. We have trust yourself here again as the last card from this deck. We're going to keep going now. You know more than you realize. Again, honoring what your inner knowing is. Not second guessing yourself, when you feel something. Listen to it. Listen to yourself. Hey, Diva. How are you? Aw, congrats to your daughter. Graduate. That's my life path number, and I'm a Gemini. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that for 6. Bottom of the deck, we have too many tabs open. Your brain has 47 tabs running. Close a few. Again, all over the place, right? I'm getting people who also I know how to say the word, and I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying it right now. I'm good, thank you. God damn it. Compartmentalize. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. I'm like, what the hell? I know how to say this word. I say it all the time. I learned it in therapy because that's what my therapist says I do. Compartmentalizing. You have like a box in your life for everything, right? Figuratively. And those things, you will not let them touch each other. Work is work, which is not a bad thing. Sometimes it's good, but what happens is you might put certain things off. You put confirmation, as my phone just went off. You put those things, certain things that you don't want to address, to the side and act like it doesn't exist. You put it on the shelf. You're like, not touching it, not dealing with it. Nope, it doesn't exist. And then you end up having to still deal with it later, or you end up here constantly. We have try again on the bottom, on the top of the deck. Failure is a part of the map. Yes. Why are you still overthinking, your failures? Are your failures really your failures, or are they lessons learned so that you can, be more well equipped for what's to come? Think of it like that. You're surviving in the middle of the deck. That counts. Sometimes you might feel like you're just kind of, coasting, and that's okay. Sometimes you're going to feel like that. The key is being able to, as you are coasting and surviving, you set yourself up with better opportunities as you go along. Again, that will be done through learned experiences and things like that, and applying those experiences rather than just dwelling on things that you can't change. We have chopped wood here in the middle of the deck of the deck we're using now. And we also have flexible. Remain flexible during these times that you're learning, right? And, again, I just said something about this is like a period of preparation for you. So whatever you're preparing for, you did see we felt almost like a walking away type of energy earlier from something. So it could be something about that. not sure. But, you know, and everybody's got different things going on. So keep in mind, this is a collective message. So take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. Okay, a couple more shuffles from here. I said a couple, but I couldn't find it. Yeah, exactly. And what happens? You're gonna fucking crash and burn. No thanks. Yeah, remember I just said remain present. Why are we focusing on the shit that doesn't matter anymore? Focus on the here and the now. Here on the bottom of the deck. Be present. Wow. I know you have to be so proud. Blessings. That's so awesome. You have yin here, stepping into your divine feminine energy. I like that. Yes, the fates. You know, some things are fated to happen a certain way, you know? And that's okay. As Blessings just said, God willing, right? It's like, God willing, you know? Certain things, like, happen a certain way in our lives, and we don't understand it at those times. We're like, I really thought that I was gonna, you know, be able to do this, this, and this, and it doesn't work out the way that you expected or wanted it to. It's not always about what you want or expect. It's about what's actually meant for you. So I say it all the time on here, and it's a cliche, I know, but rejection is God's protection. Certain things just don't work out, you know, the way that we are hoping it will, and then we realize later that there's something bigger and better waiting for us later. So again, overthinking it won't change anything. But how can you take the things that you've been learning and applying it to prepare yourself for what's to come? That's what I keep picking up on. Preparation for this, for something pretty big for somebody. For those of you who are resonating. Got some great stuff coming up. But you have to understand that you are enough. You are worthy. You're worthy of what's happening. You're worthy of what's to come your way. Stop beating yourself up. Stop diminishing yourself. Stop dimming your own light and getting stuff like that. Alright, so let's get like maybe 3 from here, 3 or 4 from here. Tell me why. Yeah, the very, very philosophical question of, but why? Why is this happening this way? Why does it happen to me? Like, it's giving kind of like, sometimes, you know, when things are happening in our lives, we think of it happening to us and not for us, right? I'm getting something like that. Hey, Bookie. Hey, girl. Hey. Guys, check out, actually, I forgot to shout you out too, Care Bear. Shout out to Care Bear. Check out her page, and also check out, or her channel rather. I'm saying it like I'm on Facebook or something. And also check out She Radio, aka Intuitive Interactions. Check my girls out. They are amazing readers and great at what they do. You will not be disappointed. Those are the home skillets right there. So check them out. And if you scroll up, my girl Allie from Phoenix Priestess, chef's kiss. Yes. Oh, that old philosophical question of why, you know, but again, you know, when we start to recognize that, you know, and shift that narrative in our own minds of, you know, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me, right? Why is this happening for me? And this preparation for bigger and better blessings to come through. Hey, Monique, what's up? What did I say earlier about a deep knowing? Honor that shit. Because the thing is, sometimes when we don't honor that deep knowing that we pick up on, aka our intuition or our gut instincts about different things, what happens is we end up kind of being put in a situation that, I don't want to use the word that we caused it, but for lack of a better word, we have a part in it. There we go. That's a good way to word it. And then we ask ourselves later, like, oh, why is this happening to me? And it's like, well, you know, you didn't follow your gut instinct. You know, the signs and synchronicities, all that shit were right in front of your face. And there you go. We talked about this yesterday. All the red flags, you know, about a person, about a situation, confirmation. And then you proceed and act like you don't see it. Like, oh, no, those flags weren't fucking red. They were green, right? No, they were not. They weren't. Yeah, but this could be also just a part of, you know, what I would say is a bit of karma, right? Karmic lessons to be learned, right? To be able to answer that question of why. Yeah, you might feel alone and abandoned in these circumstances sometimes, but you're not. You know, your spirit guides are here with you. The Most High is always here with you. So, you know, when you allow for yourself to kind of surrender that a little bit, just a tad, let go a little bit, you know. Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, look, there's an owl here, so that wisdom, right? And this, it has a book here. A book, knowledge, gaining some knowledge. Yeah. There's an owl here too. I didn't realize that. Yeah. My ear just started ringing like crazy. The left one. They're like, yes, what you said is exactly what needed to be said. All right, let's get a couple more from here. 2 to 3 more cards from here, Spirit. Let's get some more messages for the collective. What do they need to know? Thank you. Higher power, did I not say? The higher power is there. They're helping you. They are always surrounding you with knowledge. That third eye and that crown, lit the fuck up. Some of you guys, if you have been feeling like really alone or disconnected from source, I'm kind of getting that it's given, there could be a blockage when it comes to your crown and your, sorry man, and your third eye. um, so there are things you can do to be able to kind of strengthen those and get them balanced. You can just look online for different, you know, meditations or like sound therapies and things like that that, you know, have like a certain, you know, frequency and things like that that can help, you know, restore that balance in those particular chakras. You have new life here. Remember I said you're being 2727, you're being prepared for something new. And the Most High is orchestrating all of this because you have been learning what is not for you. There were certain things that were not for you. Remember I said God's rejection is God's protection. Confirmation like a motherfucker right there. Like, they're like, I got something bigger and better for you. Watch this. Yep, a change in the wind. Change is soon to come. But sometimes in order to see the change, you have to be the change too, right? Changing the way that you know, format, you know, the way that you do things, including the way that you think, right? Because that's what this reading's about. Um, you know, there are things that you could do to shift your mindset, you know, affirmations and all kind of other things. Um, I am getting heavily, though, some people might really benefit, and this is nothing to be ashamed of. I made a joke about me having a therapist. um, if some of you guys have been contemplating like therapy, this could, especially if you really truly have like anxiety and depression and things like that. ADHD, I'm picking up on that one too. Um, Neurodivergent people, I'm also picking up on. Like, sometimes it's really hard to handle, you know, especially because a lot of the things I just mentioned, there's comorbidity involved. You know, if you got one, you probably got something else too. You know what I mean? Like prime example, I can use myself. You know, I have ADHD, I have PTSD, I have depression, like clinical depression, and yeah, so it's like, you know, I've got some things going on, so I'm always in my head, you know, and my thoughts definitely can get the best of me at times. So, you know, those very intrusive thoughts and stuff, I'm picking up on something like that for somebody, which is very common for people who can't sleep. You know, you might have like legit insomnia, like not just, oh, well, I had a hard time sleeping last night, but like literally you're not sleeping. Like, no. We gotta do something about that, right? So somebody might resonate with the idea of looking into going to therapy. And again, there's nothing to be ashamed about. You know, we're in a new era where, like, you know, people used to be ashamed to talk about mental health and things like that. Well, guess what? Mental health is a very real thing. We should treat it just as you know, just as much and as importantly as we treat our physical health too, because they overlap. Again, I can almost promise you, if you have problems going on with your mental health, it's going to impact your physical. Um, so, and vice versa. So, yeah, making sure that we're well rounded all along the way. And this human 3D body that we have, right? We have to make sure that we are emotionally and physically sound. Very important. Like, I know during this break that I'm gonna have from work, I wanna do some things for myself that I haven't done in a while. Like, I wanna start being more active. I wanna, like, maybe walk some trails and stuff like that, and just, like, you know, spend time by water, um, and eat better. I might do like a fast or something like that. So, like, just, some of you guys might resonate with the idea of just wanting to take better care of yourselves too. Let me know in the comments if that makes any sense. I hear you, Care Bear. That part you said about the not the not speaking up. Yeah, I definitely hear you on that. Because, when we hold things in, it's like what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a pressure cooker, you know what I mean? And then you're just holding on to everything, you know what I mean? And then all of a sudden you blow the fuck up, you know? We don't want that. You know what I mean? Um, yes, exactly, she is. Yes. Especially for our culture. Like, no offense to anybody who's white, but, like, I remember growing up, like, in the black community for a long time. I'm an 80s baby. And I remember people, like, would say, oh, yeah, you should go to therapy, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to my therapist or my psychiatrist. And, oh, therapy's for white people. Well, there's a reason why there's a bunch of fucking unresolved trauma in the black community. You know what I mean? Because we put that shit off on hold for so long, wanting to be strong and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, you can't do everything by yourself. You know? There's certain types of trauma that have been generational, like literally, scientifically speaking, passed down from generation to generation that have not been taken care of. And, we gotta be curse breakers. Like, I think that's why my grandmother, I talk about her a lot on here, but her field of study was mental health. And she did a lot of, like, studying abroad and stuff for it, and she had multiple master's degrees and stuff. She was a drug and alcohol counselor. She was like she was a social worker. She was a regular counselor, and she worked at a college for, like, I think it was like almost 40 years. So it's like she helped a lot of people. She opened, like, clinics when she was younger, like in Bridgeport here in my city. Like, she did a lot of stuff to help people, and one of her biggest things was mental health. Because she saw how, mental health issues impact, and societal issues, how those things impact mental health. So I think that's why, I care about it so much, because I ended up going to school for something very similar, behavioral and mental health. And then I got a certificate for dual diagnosis, or they call it comorbidity now. But that's, like, people who have, like, mental health and addiction problems. So I tried to follow in her footsteps, but now I'm in special education. So there you go, you know what I mean? But still trying to help others. Very important. So I like doing a lot of trauma-informed training at my job to work with my students better. I work with kids with special needs, and well, I just said special education, so obviously they have special needs. But yeah, I think, trauma-informed stuff is really important, especially for those of us who might be in the helping field. It's weird saying that. If you're in the helping field, trauma-informed information and like continuing education type of seminars and stuff might be very helpful for your field of study. We have chopped wood here again, which again was talking about that preparation period, because you're realizing that, not everything that glitters is gold. You had to see things for what it was, take the rose-colored lenses off, see people for who they were, and situations for what they were, learning through those lessons, and being able to just be ready for what's coming up. There's some great things about to happen based on what Spirit is saying here. Yeah, and again, you might feel alone. Yeah, but this is a leg up. I heard a leg up on the competition because there is no competition. You cannot compete where you don't compare, baby. um, yeah, fork in the road. But the choice is also yours, right? You have to be the one to, forge this new path that's being, prepared for you. That's what I'm picking up on. Let's get one more from here, Spirit. Girl, man, you really been sitting here this whole time. She hasn't left my side yet since as soon as I started reading, she went right on my lap. I think she knew what I was about to do. I think she just kind of noticed me, like, doing my little things. I think that she's like, oh, she's gonna be preoccupied for a while. So she was like standing next to me looking like this. And I'm like, hi, baby, petting her, whatever. And then she's giving me little kisses on the cheek. And then, like, on my lap. And I'm like, hi, baby. And now she's just been sitting here on my lap for however long I've been reading for. All right, Spirit, let's get one more from here. Oh, wow. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's right, Care Bear. Happy, happy, yes. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. For my 80s and 90s babies, Ren and Stimpy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. That happiness is at the edge of where you're headed. You got to take that leap, though. You have to have faith. And that part is sometimes hard because you have to clean up your acts first. And that involves, in this case, working with this, you know, embrace embrace the journey, embrace it. Serendipity, that's beautiful. Um, yeah, you're really at the edge of this happiness that's yet to come. But you also have to understand that happiness is intrinsic too. Um, Sometimes people think, oh yeah, if I had more money, I would be happier. If I had this big ass house, I'll be happier. If I had a certain career, I'd be happier. If I was married, I'd be happier. And it's like, well, you have to be happy on your own, by yourself, with what you have. I'm getting like attitude of gratitude vibes. Like you need to be happy with what you have. Like I feel like that often. I'm like, damn, I can't wait to have a fucking my own apartment again and stuff like. Because I'm living with my mom right now. I'm 40 years old. I'm living with my mom. But now, granted, when I first came here, I did it because I couldn't afford. I'm in Connecticut. I couldn't afford at the time. This was years ago. An $1,800 rent by myself, and then all of the other expenses I had too. I couldn't do it anymore by myself and with a son. I was like, I couldn't do it. So I was like, I'm gonna go with my mama. She welcomed me with open arms. Well, lo and behold, she ended up having health problems, and so now I'm taking care. We're helping take care of her and my brother. So it's like everything happens for a reason. But I do feel like I need to get back into my own space again, and I'm saving up money for that. So, and I'll just make sure I stay close so I can always still be there for her. But I even need to set a boundary there. Like I'm grateful, but I know that there's certain things that I need for myself. You know what I mean? And we're all deserving of our own comfortability and things like that. So again, I'm grateful. I will never be like, oh, I hate being here. Like no, 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 no. Like I'm more than grateful, but I do also know that it's kind of that time for me to kind of you know flee the coop again and be on my own again. And I could still do that. And I also felt guilty for a long time because I'm like, well, what if I leave and then blah blah blah. Like I can't do that. You see, and that's where overthinking comes in, because I have spent countless nights where I'm like, well, I can't leave my mom, I can't leave my brother. How are they gonna take care of themselves? There were times where I would be like, I'm gonna go like try to spend time with my, hey JB, how are you? Try to spend time like with my boyfriend for a weekend, and I'm crying when I'm with him because I'm like, I don't know if they're gonna be okay. What are you gonna do without me? And then they're fine. And I'm calling, are you guys okay? Are you guys okay? Are you sure? Do you need me to come? Like, they're like, no, you're fine. You're fine. We're fine. Like, have fun. You deserve to get out the fucking house. You're always in the house. If you're not at work, you're in the house. Like, you're right. So, I'm getting, I guess the narrative here that I'm picking up on is there are some of you who feel guilty about wanting to do something for yourself, and you shouldn't feel guilty, because then you get psyched in your head, and you're overthinking it, because you're like, oh, if I do X, Y, and Z, or if I leave and do this, whatever it is, you feel like, you know, it's giving a little bit of codependency. You know what I mean? It's giving a little bit of that, and it's like you have to let people be independent without you, and you have to be, you know, independent on your own too. Hope that makes sense. Yeah. I split the deck. We have the Tower. You know, everything feeling like it's falling apart around you. You know, you've been through some shit, man. But there's a time to, you know, to show off that sense of resilience and strength in yourself. You know. Yes. And again, it's going to come in different forms, right? Like we're looking at a lot of different things. It's like, you know, people who are afraid to leave even a job. You know, let's say you've been at a job for a long time and you're like, you know, you have a higher rank, or you just built such a camaraderie with your coworkers and stuff, and in your department or something, and you're like, well, if I leave, what are they going to do without me? And it's like, you're not a martyr, you know what I mean? Like, they will be fine. They will have to learn how to, you know, figure it out for themselves. How about you prepare them? We talked about preparation. Prepare them for the changes, if need be. I just picked up on that. So, like I'm using the example of a job. Start showing people who work around you and or under you how you operate, how you've been doing things for all these years. Because they're going to have to figure it out for themselves eventually, once you're not there anymore, right? God forbid, you know, and I'm not putting it like, I'm not trying to put like negativity out there, but it's the truth. Like, think about those of us who, let me know if this resonates, guys. You don't want to take days off from work. You have PTO, but you won't take days off. You try to avoid taking days off because you're like, oh, well, again, they need me. I can't leave. Like, I can't leave them by themselves. I gotta do it. I have to go to work. The reality is, God forbid, if you die, what are they gonna do when you die? Guess what? They're gonna have somebody there within the next 2 weeks covering your position. They're gonna put you on Indeed, your position on Indeed, or in the internal freaking job search on the website at your job, and it's gonna say vacancy for da 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 da. You think they really give that much of a fuck about you? And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm being honest. Like, we're all replaceable to an extent. I mean, they may not be able to do it just like you, but you can't do it like me. Nope, but you can't do it like me. That might be true, but the show must go on. So it's like, don't sit there and, you know, stay in positions where you know you're not happy, whatever the case may be, because you feel like, you know, people need you or whatever. You're putting too much weight on you, and that's the fucking truth. Dead that shit before you know, put yourself in an early fucking grave with stress and all kind of shit. No thanks. No thank you. And high blood pressure and all. I got high blood pressure myself. Like, all kind of shit going on with you because you're worried about everybody else. And are they worried about you the same way that you're worried about them? Probably not. So fuck that. This is time to put yourself first. There was a like put yourself first type of card that came up before. I don't remember what the exact wording was, but yeah, it's time to put yourself first. Interdependency is way better than codependency. Just saying. And it definitely could have something to do with partnerships of some sort. And partnerships, you know, granted, the Two of Cups is usually a romance type of card, but it could be in other forms too, just partnerships in general, you know, people you love and care for and whatnot. So there's all these fears and anxieties attached to that, right? And it keeps you all on guard constantly. No, can't be doing that all the time. 4, 4, 4, 4 when I said that. You can't do that. I'm gonna say, I'm saying you, but I'm gonna say we. I'm gonna change it to we, because I'm so guilty of that. I'm just giving you guys some examples. You know, like especially like the work stuff. So for some reason, that's starting to really kind of come in. Like I can resonate with that for sure. Like there's been times where I'm like so sick and I feel so crappy, and I'm like, because like now I'm the official like assistant teacher in my classroom this past school year. So like I've been like the temp one more than once like over the years, but like for a few months at a time and stuff. But like now that's my permanent position, and you know my group this year overall was pretty great group. I mean they're all great, but like in terms of like the challenges, I did have one particular student who was really going through a lot in his own life outside of school. So between, having autism, having severe trauma and ADHD and OCD, like he's got a whole bunch of the things. And it's like this poor boy, the only freaking stability he has is at school. And then there's all of these things happening and shifting even in that setting. He's about to be in a different classroom and all this different stuff. Like he was in the same classroom for 5 years with the same teacher, and now he's about to go to a different, and he's going through puberty. It's like all the things hit this poor child all at once. So this was a very challenging, school year, in that regard. But love that boy. He calls me mama, and I'm like, honey, I'm not your mom. It's like mama, like if I leave or something, or if I didn't come. The point I was getting at is if I miss a day, I would feel so bad because I would find out the next day that it was a shitty fucking day. There have been times where I'm at home not feeling well and I'm, FaceTiming with him because he's having a rough time. And, I'm like, I'm so sorry I couldn't come in, but I love you. I will see you tomorrow. Please, remember, all your teachers love you. We are all there for you. You are okay. You are safe and loved at school. Like, giving him a whole spiel, like, and like again feeling guilty for taking time off, and it's like nobody should feel guilty for having to take care of themselves, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely getting that for somebody. Don't overwork yourself, and don't feel guilty about needing to take care of yourself too, because if you don't take care of you, who's going to do it? And then how are you going to be there for all the people that you have been there for, right? You can't pour from an empty cup is what I'm getting. All right, whew, that was a mouthful. All right, Spirit, let's get like let's keep it simple. Let's do like a 3-card spread. I feel like we got a lot of insight already with what we see here, so we don't need to go too deep with the tarot. Sorry, Ren. All right, so we have, for the recent past, we have the Seven of Wands, along with the Chariot. So definitely this, sense of successful completion and moving on with success and victory. It's giving me like the World too. I wouldn't be shocked if the World were to come up, because the World technically is, successful completion, but that Chariot is giving me like a very similar vibe. And I am also getting the sense of defensiveness a little bit, maybe again like that up in arms kind of energy. But I get it in the sense of maybe you're just trying to protect your peace, finally. And it's like, yeah, Six of Swords, you're trying to move on, right, past, the things that no longer serve. And again, for some of you, it could be work related with this Eight of Pentacles here, or you're just working really hard on yourself, trying to, maybe learning how to, set boundaries and put yourself first, moving on from situations and people that don't serve you. It's giving me that. We have Page of Wands here, which is usually about like some type of enthusiasm, but it could also represent communication. Let's see what's surrounding that. Yeah, maybe somebody's going to come in. Oh, I see. I get it. So I'm getting, as you have been learning how to kind of put yourself first, you're working on it. It's a work in progress, right? You're not quite there, but you're working on it. This narrative is creating this sense of people around you might try to come at you a little bit like, oh, so what's your deal? Like, I'm getting two different things. For some, people are acting like like what you think you ought at or something. Like, you know, why you acting weird? Why you acting funny? Like, I'm getting that as one thing, because they're not used to you setting boundaries and things like that, and you know, talking to them different, saying no, right? Because no is a complete fucking sentence, and they don't understand that shit because you always bent over backwards, right? And now you're not doing that anymore, so they feel in a way. The other narrative I'm getting though is for some of these people who you have to say no to, or you're setting those boundaries with, they realized, you know, the error of their ways, and they're like, oh, maybe I really fucked up. Especially if you like were like, if you had a conversation and you were very cutting with your words, they're like, oh shit, they mean business, and now they're trying to like, you know, maybe walks back in with like apologies, but it's like very subtle, very small tokens of apologies, or you know, trying to like, you know, extend like this little tiny little olive branch to try to be in your good graces again. And it's like, yeah, I've been working on myself, buddy, so I don't know if that's gonna really work for you, especially now that I see who you are and how you operate. I'm putting me first. What's the current energy looking like? Also, if you guys are resonating with this message, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. If you're new and haven't done so already, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I think I've been pretty consistent lately, guys. Right? I've been on probably about 4 to 5 times a week. I went live for, I think, almost 5 hours on Saturday doing free personal readings. So, just saying, you guys want to be a part of that, I would say, you know, hit that like button and subscribe. And the notification bell, very important as well, so you know when I'm on. All right, Spirit. Current energy. Thank you. The Judgment. Yeah, it's a 51 when I looked up. Remember that 6? We were talking about the number 6 being possibly important. That's not the number on here, but I'm saying that because when I looked up, it was a 50, sorry, it was 51. I'm just looking at something over here. I see like it's not, at first I thought it was something in the room. It's not something in the room. It's almost like this is like more like my clairvoyance type of stuff. I'm seeing something. All right, let me see if I can explain what I'm seeing. It's like a scene. It's like, let me see if I can explain it. I'm seeing like, I'm seeing a light, but the light looks like the shape of like a screen. I can't make out what it says on said screen. I'm getting like it's like a text message or something like that. And I felt this energy of like annoyance or anger. Almost like somebody said, like, remember I said something about like as you're setting these boundaries and stuff, somebody might try to act funny or like come at you sideways, like trying to say some bullshit to you, and you're gonna get a message, or this might have happened already for some, and you're just gonna be like, I know this motherfucker didn't have the balls or the audacity to say this shit to me. That's what I'm picking up on, and it's like it's giving you all like I'm getting frustration. I'm getting like, yo, I want to punch this person in the face right now, but I'm not because I don't want to go to jail. That's what I'm picking up on. It is this judgment call here, right? This wake up call. Because you're trying to find peace. Remember, we talked about the number 6. We saw, that's what I was trying to say, and then I saw that light, and I'm like, what is that? And I'm like, oh, that's not actually in the room. That's like, it's a, you know, it's like, when I get like these little glimpses, sometimes it's almost like it's on a screen for me. It's almost like I'm watching a movie, and then I'm just watching it all play out. I don't necessarily see faces or anything like that. I see figures, and then I'm able to describe it, and then people are like, that happened to me. And it's like, it's weird. I've seen some weird shit. And that's been happening like more like lately. That's like something more new. Usually it's like the clear audience thing for me, like a lot. But that's been happening more too. So that was like very weird. I was like, what the fuck is going on? It just felt like, you know, like in like those really high tech movies, like when they're like, you know, in like a lab or whatever, and like, you know, they're going through all the screens, but it's like in the air, and they're like, you know, it looked like that. That's how it looked. It's weird. But yes, that number 6 might be important for somebody. I know that Kira Bear said that she resonates with that. But yes, definitely a judgment call, right? Seeing things for what the fuck it is. Yep. Damn, look at all these major arcana. Wheel of Fortune. That wheel is turning in a new I heard the word favor. I was trying to say direction, but I guess they're trying to say it's turning in your favor. There are some things that are about to start transpiring, and it's going to allow for a sense of balance with its Two of Pentacles, right? Yeah, karmic lessons, right? Karma kind of coming. Yeah, number 2 might be significant for some as well. Like seeing like 222 or variations of just twos in general. Let me know if that resonates. But I'm also getting some of you guys might be a fixed sign. Let me know in the comments. Tell us more. But yeah, it's a judgment call, and this, I'm getting like, with this spiritual awakening that you're about to embark on, or that you're currently embarking on, it allows for you to really have a greater sense of discernment, and that's going to allow for you to really step into your higher self. That's what I'm picking up on. All right. What's the likely outcome? Thank you. You're gonna be like, I'm not gonna allow myself to stay in this fucking energy. This stink ass energy. 4 of Cups, miserable and shit. For what? For why? On her shirt it literally says over it. Like, yeah, no thank you. Yep, because you're cutting all that shit out. Queen of Swords. You're showing up like off with the head for painting the roses red. Some of you guys might like Alice in Wonderland. Cutting all the motherfuckers' heads off. Heads are gonna be rolling. Because you would like, if you are fucking with my peace, with my happiness, where I'm at right now, my 9 of Cups, my wish fulfillment, you fucking with the wrong one, child. You got another goddamn thing coming. The devil, because they're gonna try to come back around. They're gonna come back around in different ways, different forms, trying to fuck up your peace. And yeah, no, absolutely fucking not. Yep, but that's 6 again, 6 of Pentacles, generosity, right? Yeah, they're definitely some people are gonna try to come in, and they look at that. I'm telling you, these little page energies. That's what I saw before when I was saying something about that communication and stuff that I was picking up on. You're gonna have people wanting to communicate and try to maybe, offer something, apologies and things like that, trying to get on in your good graces, but like, no, fuck you. Because, for what? Why are we gonna stay in that funky ass energy with people that we don't even like, we shouldn't even associate ourselves with no more? You've learned what you needed to learn, and you're not gonna let other people come in fucking up your peace anymore. It's funny too, as I'm looking at this picture, you see how she's got like her arms folded, right? And then the phone is on the floor. It's almost like she got that message that I was just talking about, that I was feeling like you like, yo, do I clap back on this motherfucker or what? Because I'm about to go off. I'm about to flip on this person. Like, how do I like not ready to go off on this person? Like, I'm getting that. That's just wild. It's almost funny. It's almost humorous. It is pretty humorous, because these people are, the audacity of trying to come at you guys off sideways and on some bullshit, you know what I mean? And then putting you in the position that you've been feeling like for so long, And that, I can see where this overthinking might come from for some. Like, of course, everybody's got different things going on, but it's definitely given, like, a lot of this does happen to do with like how other people have maybe made you feel and treated you. It makes you question, your reality. I'm getting gaslighting. Like, makes you question your reality. It makes you question who you are, who you think you are. Causes a lot of confusion. Especially like for those of you who have, because we talked about work, right? Toxic bosses. I'm getting workplace trauma that showed up more than once lately. I'm getting that, but I'm also getting, obviously, like, just traumatic experiences in romantic relationships too. With, again, like, gaslighting and creating narratives that don't exist, making you question your own reality, making you question how you really feel about yourself. Have you ever been in a relationship where you started off feeling so confident about yourself, and then they beat you down, like not physically necessarily, but just emotionally and mentally, to the point where you don't recognize yourself anymore. Have you ever been in that position? Most of us have, men and women alike. And it's a really fucked up place to be in. It really is. And yeah, let me know if that resonates. Because, like, there's been times where I've gotten into relationships and I was just fine by myself. And then, but the thing is, I had to learn some karmic lessons. I've learned that. Like, a few years ago, I went through something like that. I was on top of my game. I had my life together. Career was good. I had this really nice luxury apartment. Car, it wasn't a brand new car, but it was new to me. I was happy about my car. My son was, he's still the light of my life, but me and my son had like the best bond and relationship. Everything just was, I was on top of the world in my whole life. Health was pretty good, all of that. And then I got into this really, really bad relationship. And I looked at pictures of myself from the beginning of that relationship to the end of it. And I'm like, that let me know everything I needed to know. Like, the light in my eyes, like, was gone. Like, certain things were good because I like lost 30 pounds. But I lost 30 pounds probably from stress, but also because, like, I actually wanted to lose weight. So, it was purposeful. Like, it wasn't like, I can't blame him for that part. But, like, he might have helped speed up the process. Thanks for that, Jamal. But thanks for something, But no, like, yeah. But then, like, I remember that's when I started having a whole bunch of health problems. I almost had a heart attack at my job. Um, I developed really, really bad gastrointestinal problems, and then mental health problems really, really skyrocketed at that time for me. And yeah, so I went from having a life, and I'm not blaming him because I allowed him to, walk all over me like a fucking doormat. That part was my fault. I take accountability for that because I saw all the red flags. Remember, I said we be turning our head like this. Oh no, that, like, I mean, not that, like, that flag wasn't fucking red. It was green. It was beautiful. And we lie to ourselves. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious right now? Like, and we figure it out later. But I brought that up because, once you start feeling like you're losing yourself in relationships, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. If you ever look at yourself and you're looking at pictures of yourself from, a past relationship or even a current one, and you're realizing that you're losing yourself in the relationship, look at pictures of yourself. Is the light leaving your eyes, right? Are you putting on a lot of weight or losing a lot of weight, depending on, where you fall on that? Like, if you're under eating, you might be losing weight. If you're overeating, you might be gaining. You just don't look the same, right? People look at you, they say you look sad. That's not good. So restoring peace into yourself, very important. And sometimes you have to, it's like a reset, you're going to have to start kind of over, which is why you're talking about preparation periods, coming out of, it's giving me like a lotus, you were in that muddy, murky water, and you're coming up into the light, you're coming up as this beautiful lotus flower. Drop a lotus in the comments. That's also my my logo, a lotus. But yeah, wow. I heard that very, very distinctly. So somebody needed to hear that message. Yeah. Honor what you feel. If something feels off, honor that. That inner knowing is there for a reason. And the Most High has been guiding you. Your guides have been guiding you. Okay? Alright. One more message from here. Then we're going to read from the other new deck. I'm having fun here. The Death card. Transformations. You're transforming. You are transforming. And look at all these major arcana that showed up. We got the Chariot, we got the Judgment, we got the Death card, and we had, the Wheel of Fortune showed up. We had a whole bunch of major arcana that showed up throughout this reading. So, yeah, we got that Six of Swords again. Moving from the rough waters to the calm waters. Working on yourself. Some of you guys might pick up a new, like, craft or hobby or something that you actually might be able to turn into something that could turn into a career or a business. You are focusing on your happiness, and that's beautiful. So you should be proud of yourself. I know sometimes you guys get in your heads and you beat yourself up. You feel like you need to be perfect all the time, and you don't need to be perfect. You are amazing, as who you are already. But look at this. You're upgrading your life already. Oh, I wanted to show you guys the deck again. This is the Urban Truth Oracle. So this is one of the other ones that we're premiering on the channel, or debuting, I should say. Sounds better. But yes, oh man, the Death card. I love the Death card. First off, 13 is my favorite number. I was born on Friday the 13th, and that number, as people get so scared about it, I'm like, no, it's nothing to be scared about. Actually, it represents death and rebirth and transformation. So I think that number's pretty fucking cool. Wow, look at this. I split the deck, and what do we have? Stop people pleasing. Your comfort is not your responsibility. You are allowed to disappoint people. Your truth deserves space. You're not perfect, and that's okay. If you have to, pose as if everything is always perfect with you, like don't do that. You know what I mean? Take that false mask off, and even for yourself. I'm a perfectionist myself, so I get it, and I'm learning how to make a mess. I don't have to always be, perceived and portrayed as somebody who always has every single thing. No, I don't have everything together. None of us do. We're all a work in progress. Even those of us who really, seem like we really got life, like you're nailing it. You're doing great. Like, we're still learning. We're still learning, and that's okay. And that is okay. Just like this person needs to learn how to go to channels where they have the Bible thumpers, because we don't do that shit here. There we go. Don't need Bible thumpers here. We welcome all people, but not people who are going to act like that they're better than somebody else when they're not. The same people who, they go to church on a Sunday and then they're cheating on their wife when they get out of church. I've seen it. That's why I don't go to church no more. But anyway, I've seen a lot of shit. All right, bottom of the deck, we have upgrade your life. Yes, exactly. Small improvements compound fast, and your habits shape your future. You're building a better version of yourself. Exactly. That's what all this is about. I will never understand it, Care Bear. If it doesn't align with what you do, then why are you here? What's the point? You have to actively be looking for a tarot reader. Like that's not something that's gonna pop up on your channel, or on your, not your channel, but like your profile when you're on YouTube. Like, you have to be literally saying, "Ooh, I want to go bother tarot readers." Like, get your life together. Go Bible thump with the people who think like you do, and be cool. Be cool. Pulp Fiction. Somebody might like that movie. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm not going to sit there and go on a channel where all they talk about is that kind of stuff, because it's like, that's not my thing. I'm not going to go disrespecting what they believe, because I don't do that either. I don't believe in that either. Like, that's just not how I operate. I stick to the people who I vibe with, aka other spiritual people. So I just don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'll never understand that. It's one of those things, like, if you have nothing nice to say nothing at all. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm on Facebook and I see shit about Donald Trump and people who are, MAGA fucking people, as much as I would want to go and talk a bunch of shit to them, I scroll, or I mute, or block. I do what I need to do so I don't have to see that shit on my stuff anymore. But I'm not going to sit there and go commenting on it like, that I believe, like, Trump is the Antichrist. Like, no, I'm not doing all that. Like, for what? It's stupid. It's pointless. Vibe with the people who you vibe with. Create your own cliques, right? If you want to be with the other Bible thumpers, that's fine. That is perfectly okay. But don't come over here bothering me, disturbing my peace, right? Don't come over here disturbing our peace over here. We're just having fun. Right? Why are you knocking down my decks? We're just vibing. We're doing good things here, talking about things that help people heal, right? Not saying, oh, just leave it to God, leave it to God, leave it to God. No, you gotta do stuff yourself. But did we talk about God in this reading? Where's the card? Most likely, I mean, not most likely, we absolutely did. We definitely did. Because one thing about that, I will say on my channel, I do believe in the Most High. You could call him God or it God. We could call it Source. I'll use those terms interchangeably. But, one thing I'm not going to do is deter you from having, faith in something bigger than yourself. That's one thing I won't do on here. But we also have to understand the role that we play in our own lives. And if you would think that you could just say, oh, leave it to God for everything, and you don't have to fix your ways, good luck with that. Because I don't think that's how God works. Just saying. That's just my personal opinion. Um, Neither here nor there. Let's see what's on the bottom. Detach with grace. Interesting. You can leave without anger. You can withdraw without noise. Your peace stays intact. Yes. Leave situations behind with grace. An attitude of gratitude, if you will. Yeah, they could have, trespassed against you and did some BS to you. But at the same time, you can remove yourself from those circumstances and say, I'm going to bow out gracefully. I bid you adieu. Farewell. And honestly, that for that person, that could be their karma. When they see you bowing out gracefully, you're mad chill, you're calm and collected. That bothers them more than when you give them a reaction. I can tell you that right now. So just saying, if you want to know how to make somebody really mad, especially a narcissist, oh man, oh man, that's the best thing you can do. But no, even for yourself, not just for those reasons, but for yourself, don't even give them the satisfaction. Give yourself the satisfaction of knowing that you handled it with grace, maturity, you know what I mean, as you maintain your peace. I love that. I really like that card a lot. And I'm glad you found my channel too, Care Bear. I'm so happy that you came across and you've been supporting. So grateful for you. I can't wait for you to start reading again. I know you took a break, so I'm looking forward for when you do that, because I'm definitely going to be tapping in. Trust me. We have on the top, respect your limits. Yeah. We talked about boundaries already. Your boundaries protect you. You're not meant to carry everything. Oh my God, how is this for everything coming full circle? Because we were talking about holding on to other people's shit earlier. Know where your line is. Where do you draw the line, right? Of what you're carrying of other people's shit. You could be right, Ryan. What do you think? We don't scratch. You know that. You got a scratching post for that. Ooh, I like that. Money, mindset shift. So let's see what that's about. Your beliefs about abundance are evolving. Ooh, I like that. You trust yourself to create more. Your value attracts resources. So she's funny, right? She just be popping up at the most random ass times. She was on my lap for a minute, probably almost an hour while I was doing the reading, and then she hi baby. Hey baby girl. Are you coming back over here? Hi. Yeah. Yeah, she is. But yeah, I'm sorry. Yes. Abundance also, I know they're talking about money, but I think abundance comes in many different forms. I've talked about this recently. Abundance looks like health. It looks like happiness. It looks like just everything around. It looks like having a greater connection with Source, God, whatever you believe in. It looks like, I heard the Midas touch. Everything you touch turns to gold. That's what I just heard. When you're able to exude that kind of energy, you can't help but to attract it. So it's kind of giving also a little bit of law of attraction vibes and law of assumption vibes. I'm getting that. So you could maybe do some exercises about that to kind of, shift the mindset and things like that to kind of get to where you're trying to go, to create abundance for yourself in different areas. I'm getting somebody might resonate with the idea of wanting to do some candle magic. And you can do candle magic for pretty much anything. I heard the word sweeten. You might want to do a what is it called? Sweetening jar? That's like a self-love jar. I heard the word romanticize. If you start to romanticize your relationship with yourself and your relationship with, abundance and things like that, again, you can begin to attract those things. Is what I'm picking up on. All right, so let's see. Yeah, my cat is hilarious though. I love cats. They're so intuitive too. I think that's why I like cats so much. I've loved cats ever since I was little. I love animals in general, but I've always gravitated towards cats. And they always gravitate towards me. Like I'll go to somebody's house, oh yeah, my cat, he or she's not the most friendly, blah blah blah. They'll hiss or whatever, and then when they see me, they look and they're like, they're skeptical, and they come, and I just stay calm and cool, and then like they smell around, and I just give them my hand, and then they smell it, and then they want to hang out with me the whole time. They're like, my cat never does that, and I'm like, dogs too. Now dogs I'm a little bit, wary about because I got attacked by a dog when I was little. Not like a real like, oh my god, like I lost a finger kind of attack, but like I got bit by a dog, like a small bite. Um, and it wasn't a big dog. It was a poodle. But ever since then, I'm not that big on dogs. Not that I don't like them, but like it takes me a little more time to warm up to dogs. So I have to really learn how to like calm myself when it comes to dogs. And I was also chased by a pit bull, but I also grew up in the hood. There were always pit bulls all over the goddamn place and shit like that. But yeah, I got chased by a pit. I got away, thank God. But like, yeah. So dogs, not that I don't like them. Like I said, it's just it takes me a little bit more time to warm up to dogs than cats. But I love animals in general. I really do. Alright, Spirit. Let's get some messages from this deck before we get ready to close out. We're going to read from one more. Okay, focus mode on. I like it. Distractions are falling away. Your vision becomes sharper. You're aligned with your goals. Yes, I love it. And the thing is, it's like, you could, because again, we're talking about the overthinking, right? So how about transmuting that energy? How do you transmute it? Use that, all that crazy energy that you're feeling when you're all in your head and shit. Write down some brilliant ass fuck. As I say brilliant, I look up and I see Kirby says something about, brilliance. You probably have some brilliant ideas up there that are just kind of locked away, stored away, because you're overthinking, you're over analyzing everything. And then if you actually sit down with your thoughts and actually allow yourself to dissect them a little bit and move the fog away, there's probably so much clarity in there of some great things that you could be doing to manifest the life that you want. It's time to focus. Game on is what I just heard. Some of you guys might like gaming. It's kind of cool. But yeah. Oh wow. I was picking up on fixed signs. Wow. Nice. Yep, I was picking up on that. Yeah, oh god, a lot of thinking, girl. A lot of thinking. um Side-eye queen on the bottom. It says your intuition sees through the act. Did I not nail that or what? I was like, you had to see through the false masks and shit. Wow. The truth shows on your face. Something feels off for a reason. So you might be you might not be to hide that look. Like you'd be looking at motherfuckers like, what time is it? Bullshit time. I'm calling bullshit on everything that you just said. Like, I don't believe anything that just came out of your mouth. Like, ooh, drama magnet? No, thank you. Chaos gravitates towards you. Messy energy follows. Protect your emotional space. Exactly. People want to come in trying to cause fucking problems. Well, now it's time to focus on yourself. And anybody who comes in with some weird ass energy, just look at them sideways like, what the fuck do you want? And why are you bothering me? Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop it. Just stop dogging me around. Let me stop. All right. Yeah, definitely had to channel my inner Michael Jackson real quick on that one. All right, so we have in the middle of the deck, stop lying to yourself. Denial blocks your path. Then I say something about removing the fog. Look, truth clears the fog. This moment demands honesty. Wow. Damn, I'll have to go to work tomorrow, so maybe I can listen to some Michael Jackson before I go to sleep. Pour myself a little cocktail and just hit my best MJ notes and shit. Let me listen to the Bad album. It's my second favorite one. Off the Wall's my favorite. It was funny. I channeled it's the Falling in Love Yesterday from Off the Wall, and I sang a part from it, and then some of my girls were like, oh my god, encore, do it again. I'm like, guys, stop. And then they're like, oh, you need to do a duet with your son. I'm like, oh my goodness, you guys are crazy. I love y'all though. I had the VHS of this movie. Are you talking about Moonwalker? The movie? Like with the one, like the long version of Smooth Criminal and all that on it? or did you like record the videos like off of like MTV and stuff? Because my dad used to do that for me. But I also used to watch Moonwalker like every day. I would watch Moonwalker, and then I would watch Moonwalker, and then I would listen to the Bad album on repeat. And my mom, she hid the Bad album, right? And then my dad bought me another. I was what, 2 years old, 3 years old, and then yep, because my dad would just buy everything I wanted. And I'm like, I can't find my dad's CD, Dad. And then next thing you know, he's like, he comes home with a new one. So I have 2 copies from when I was a baby or a toddler. So funny. I still have them too. One of them has a little smear of peanut butter and jelly on the cover, because I was like looking through the booklet, and I was eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and I had it on my hands. It's so funny. The fact that I can remember that, I was only like 2 or 3 years old, is crazy. All right, we have reality check. It says the truth appears whether you want it to or not. Your intuition, keep talking about your intuition, guys, was right all along. It's time to face the, I'm about to say face the truth, but it says face what's real. She said a collection from the flea market, probably. I'm done. You're funny. All right, Spirit, let's get 2 more from here. Half in, half out. They stay close but avoid commitment. Oh. Yeah, we're staying away from these kind of people. Their actions show hesitation. The connection feels paused in the middle. I'm getting that some of you might have been going through this recently or currently going through this, or there could just be some type of experience with having that kind of thing happen in your life. That's definitely about love. And just realizing like, yeah, about that. It's giving me that. And having to see things for what it was, because it's kind of giving me like my girl, she channeled in a reading that she did. I was watching not on here but like on YouTube, I mean on Facebook, and she channeled Donnell Jones, where I want to be, you know, like they want to hold on to you, but they know they have to let you go because they don't want to hurt you, because they want to still sow their wild oats. Like they're half in, half out, that kind of thing. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. My dad went all the time. Ooh, I almost baked goods for you guys. Nice. That's funny. Yeah, so yeah, it's given like that energy of like, you know, remember I was saying like, wow, look at this. We have 2 cards that like they just like stuck out like a sore thumb all of a sudden, because they kind of shifted as I've been reading, and then they just kind of landed on top of each other. They weren't even in that position originally, but we have you are enough right now as you are. That was from earlier. And we also have good enough. Perfection is exhausting. So it's giving like, as you know, we're kind of revisiting those cards, that position might have kept you feeling like you were not good enough. And now you're realizing, or I'm hoping you're realizing, that you are. Heartbreak residue. Past wounds, remember I said for some people it could be, you know, something that could have happened a while back, but some it could be more current. Past wounds affect the present. Old emotions reappear suddenly. Healing is still in progress. Wow. Mixed emotions. It could cause you to feel all fucked up. And maybe because they're half in, half out, or were half in, half out, it made, like, you're like, you don't know what the hell's happening. Because, like, on one end, it's like everything seems like it's great, and then the next minute, everything's falling apart. That's what I'm picking up on. It says you feel excited and scared at once. Your heart can't choose a direction. Both possibilities feel real. So maybe that energy made you feel like, okay, you felt all mixed up. Confusion is what I'm getting. I just heard Love or Confusion by Jimi Hendrix. You might want to check that song out. That's my boy. Um, did I not talk about waking up at 3 and 4 in the morning, guys? Replaying shit in your head that you can't change. Gotta stop that. The 3 a.m. thought. The quiet hours reveal your true feelings. Your mind wanders back to them. Interesting. Clarity appears when the world sleeps. Interesting. Confirmations too. One more from your spirit. And then we're going to read from one more deck to close out this reading. This was fun, opening up 2 new decks and reading them on here. And I'm hoping that this reading has been helpful for you guys. I hope that you've been resonating. And if you're new and haven't done so already, please like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell as well. Take responsibility is here. We talked about that earlier. Your choices shape your path. Growth begins when you own your actions. This is your turning point. Yes, there's something about when you are able to take accountability and say, you know what? I own up to my role that I played in this part of my life. I can't put all the blame on other people. That's very childish. We can't do that. We have to take accountability. Blame, not so much. Accountability, yes. Those are 2 very different things. Because with blame comes guilt. We're not going to feel guilty about stuff, right? Or shame, right? That's not what this is about. This is about being able to, own up to the role that we play, and that takes strength. That's not a weak thing to do. That's actually a very strong thing to do. You're not looking for, a woe is me. You know what I mean? Like, you're looking for, hey, I went through X, Y, and Z. You can hold the, oh my God, I'm so sorry you went through all of that. You don't need the pity party. You know what I mean? You don't need the pity party. You want people who, if you ever share your story, they're going to be like, oh wow, the fact that you're able to talk about this with such strength and be able to own up to it and whatnot. Like, that resilience takes a lot to be able to accomplish. You have to stop lying to yourself on the bottom. Denial blocks your path. We already saw this card. Truth clears the fog. This moment demands honesty. Yeah, we have to be honest. Like I used myself as an example just a little while ago about a relationship that I was in a few years back. And, the role that I played by avoiding all the red flags, like acting like everything was a fucking green flag, knowing damn well it wasn't. It's like, what are you doing, bro? Get your shit together. But yeah. Yeah, and exactly, right? We're not stroking egos. We're not, like you said, not stroking your own either. Rose tinted glasses. I talk about rose colored glasses all the time. You only see that's, for me, that card in the tarot would be like the 2 of swords. That's the equivalent of this card to me. But let's read what it says. You only see the good parts. Spirit, you guys are funny. Red flags blend into the background. Fantasy mixes with reality. Oh my goodness. Come on now. That was on the top of the deck. That shit's crazy. Oh my goodness. Because I kept telling jokes about those damn red flags that we kept on ignoring, right? Oh my goodness. Stop chasing approval is here in the middle of the deck. It says, you don't need validation to be worthy. Wow. I talked about you being worthy and good enough more than once throughout this reading. Approval isn't the goal. Your truth stands on its own here in the middle of the deck. Yes, Spirit. Yes. I really like these decks that I got. These were from Amazon for the low. They were not expensive at all, like $15, something like that for each of them. No more than 20. But I want to say like one might have been like maybe $18 or something. The other one was like 15. Yeah, worry. That's the whole purpose of this reading, right? Being all in our heads. I'm learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Did I not say earlier, dwelling upon the things that happened in the past, does it change the future? No. So it's important to live in the moment right now, the present, practicing forgiveness in the process. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love. Exactly. Don't block yourself by staying in a stuck, shitty ass attitude because of, the things that happened in your past. Gotta move on. Easier said than done, I know. But it can be done. And a lot of you guys are already working on this. So yeah, keep up what you've been doing. I will not be shocked if like the blame card were to show up in this reading, or from this deck. Relationships. So yes, this is a big part of what has been happening in your life and where a lot of your worry comes from. I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. Remember, we were talking about removing people in situations that don't, including in relationships. Health, focusing on your overall health. Wow. Getting rid of the relationships that no longer serve you helps you improve your overall health. Wow. I will honor the physical vessel that enshrines my soul. Wow. Middle of the deck. Loneliness. Yeah, we talked about maybe feeling a little bit isolated and lonely earlier. I know that I'm never alone. Why? Because Source is always with you. Alright, so let's get like maybe three cards to close out the reading, and that'll be the end. For those of you who were able to tap in at any point, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Even if you couldn't stay, no worries. I'm just happy that you guys were able to tap in. And while you were here, I hope you gained some insight of your circumstances that helped give you some clarity. I hope this was helpful. That's my goal. That's all I care about. We have two cards that came out together. Purpose. I know what I am here to do. Along with acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. Exactly. Thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. Allowing yourself to accept things for what it is and prepare for the things that are yet to come. It allows you to align with what is about to be your purpose. What Spirit has been, guiding you to do in the first place. We have imagination on the bottom of the deck. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. Remember, I was saying transmuting that energy. Maybe coming up with some creative ideas and things like that could be something that can be helpful. Fear on the top. I realize that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. So there's definitely some fears involved, right? And anxieties, whole purpose of this reading. And worry is here again. So confirmations. All right, let's get two more, Spirit, to close out for the collective. Ooh, yeah, that's a big one. Self-esteem. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Wow. That self-esteem is giving me that Leo vibe, Care Bear. Definitely given, or at least fire sign at the very least, but it's definitely given, because, fire signs tend to be confident in general, but the Leo is very confident, right? It's giving me that vibe. Yeah, relationships is on the bottom again. Again, I think a lot of you guys will resonate with the idea that your past relationships have altered your self-esteem to an extent. But rebuilding your relationship with self is going to be pivotal at this time when it comes to being able to rebuild that self-esteem. Yes, that's definitely what I'm getting. Transmuting your pain into power is what I'm getting. Regret. I know that I cannot change the past. Yeah, they keep talking about things from the past that you can't change. And how those things have impacted you. I knew it that this card was going to come up. Guilt. I release any beliefs that no longer assist in my soul's growth. Remember I said, like, we don't want to feel guilt and shame. Like, that's not what this is about. Accountability, yes. Acceptance, yes. Guilt and shame, no. No thanks. Leave that shit out to dry. We're getting past that because you might have already been feeling like that. And that contributes to where you have been up here, your mental. Courage, more Leo energy. I find the inner strength, definitely Leo, to face fear with confidence. Wow. I like that. Put it up a little bit higher. I like that a lot. I like the color in there. It's pretty. Yeah, imagination is here again. Top of the deck we have grief. Yeah, it's a grieving process, right? You know, you have to grieve the loss, air quotes, of, you know, the people who you really cared about, who you had to remove yourself from, or the situations that you might have sought comfort in at one point in time. And we were talking about like that codependency and stuff, right? But, and we even grieving parts of your old self, you know, as you're growing, right? And removing, I'm thinking of like I'm picking up on like a snake shedding its skin. That's you right now. You're shedding, you know, old parts of yourself. And there might be a little bit of grieving there because, you know, you lived in that sense of comfortability, air quotes, for so long, you know, got so used to that version of yourself that it takes time to, you know, get past that. It says, I understand that losing something is an opportunity to appreciate it. You know, appreciate this part of the journey. You know, this is what's going to allow for you guys to be able to step into your higher self and live in your purpose, as we just discussed. You know, there might be some doubts there sometimes. I release the need to know all the answers. You don't know everything. Sometimes we have to take that leap of faith and just go towards, you know, the unknown. We talked about that earlier too. One more thing here, Spirit. I know that I said 3, but I feel drawn for one more. One more message for the collective to close out. They said 2. Okay. There's a reason why I felt the need to pull more. Man, they keep this part came up like about 4 times now. But now it's officially here on the spread. I'm gonna read it again. I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. They're definitely talking about transmutation, creativity. Yeah, I just heard imaginations. I don't know why I said South Park, or almost said South Park. That's not from South Park. It's from somebody must like South Park, but no, it's from SpongeBob. SpongeBob. Don't mind my ADHD, guys. You guys, if you know, you know. You've seen it more than once, and you guys, I'm sure, get a kick out of it. Other people are probably like, what the fuck's wrong with this girl? Here you go. It's me. But anyways, but yeah, like I said, definitely transmutation. You know, being able to, you know, redirect all of what's going on up here and all of those doubts and stuff, and be able to, you know, turn your pain into purpose is what I'm picking up on. Nice. I love that, Care Bear. I really love that. We have humor here. I heard humor me. Maybe you guys, like, some of you guys, like, are funny people, and, you know, maybe you hold back on your humor or something. I don't know why I'm picking up on that. But that could be a part of, like, kind of your, like, something that makes you kind of niche. Like, it's like, you know, with these creative ideas and stuff like that, maybe, you know, humor could be something that you can use to kind of do something when it comes to a creative venture. I'm not getting like stand-up comedy necessarily, but maybe, or like skits and stuff like that. Or maybe if you do something like what I do, you know what I mean? You know, you don't want to always be super damn serious, right? That's just depressing. So it's like, you know, when you, I love when y'all come in here and y'all be laughing your asses off, even when it's a serious reading. Like, I love that because it's like, you know, some of these readings could get kind of heavy, right? And, you know, we talk about a lot of stuff on this channel, childhood trauma, all kind of stuff. So it's like, when we're able to, you know, break it up a little bit, you know, put a little bit of comedic timing in there. But I'm also getting, like, don't take life too seriously as well. That's the other thing I'm getting. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Yeah, maybe having fun, you know, doing something that, you know, is unorthodox or something, and going with it, you know, just enjoying life. Laugh a little. Trust is on the bottom of the deck. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. Whenever we talk about that inner knowledge. Envy. Be mindful of these motherfuckers. My best side eye we're talking about. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. Sometimes people think like, oh, you know, so and so must have it so good and stuff, and they don't even realize what it takes for you to get to where you're at. And vice versa, you know, in some cases, you know, we've all been there at least once in our lives where we could, and I kind of hinted at it a little bit. Not necessarily, I don't want to say straight up envy, but just sometimes we could see other people doing really well in their lives, and we're like, damn, I wish that was me. And you know, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. Like that's life. You know, we all go through it at some point or another. It's when you like hate somebody for, you know, having a good life. Like that's fucked up. That's not cool. But there's nothing wrong with, you know, from time to time, you know, kind of having a little bit of that feeling, but do something about it, right? Transmute. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna take this feeling that I'm feeling right now. I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something creative. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna set some goals. I'm gonna sit down and, you know, write out some goals. I'm gonna make myself a vision board. Like, wow, I'm gonna use this as motivation to get me where I'm trying to go, as opposed to being jealous. You know what I mean? And being a hater, right? I'm getting something like that. So, you know, understand that everybody goes through their different set of, you know, challenges to get to where they are. And you know, it's not always what it's cracked up to be, right? You know, we see people who are rich and stuff who, you know, are absolutely fucking miserable. Money doesn't buy happiness. I guess heard that. So it's like, you know, just keep that in mind, right? Everybody's got their own struggles, you know, and whatnot. So it's like, look look at your own circumstances and think of how you can improve them. Don't worry too much about other people and what they got going on. Focus on you. Water your garden. That's what I'm picking up on. And again, worry is in the middle of the deck. How's that for the last message? I am learning that worry doesn't change an outcome. Yep, basically. So there you go, guys. That was the last message. So with all that said, I do hope that you guys who stuck around, I hope that you guys um, got something out of this message. I hope it was helpful. There was a lot to uncover here. And here we are almost 2 hours later. Wow. Didn't realize that that reading was going to be that long. I was chilling. I was in a good space while I was reading this for you guys. Um, and unboxing 2 different decks that we just got in. So that was fun. I love doing that with you guys. That's really cool. Especially if it's one that like really hits. Like so I've opened up a couple where I'm like, not sure how I feel about this deck. Like put those kind of to the side for a while. But those right off the rip, those hit. Very good deck for sure. But yes, the ones that we unboxed today were, oops, I need to do that. Just knock all the cards off the damn box. Great. Well, maybe there's a reason. This card is the only one that flipped up when all the cards just fell out of the box. You are learning. Mistakes are teachers. Everything happens for a reason. All I was gonna do was show you guys the deck, but it was open, and when I picked it up, the cards just spilled out, but only one turned. So this deck is called You're Fine. So it's an Oracle deck for the overthinkers, and the other deck was or is the Urban Truth Oracle. Both were purchased on Amazon. If you guys are readers yourselves or just want to, you know, get into, you know, your own little readings for yourself at home and stuff, or with your friends, that's how I started. Yeah. I always try to, you know, show off really good ones. What did you say? You get light stuff. Oh, um, yes, lights definitely do. Lights blink around here a lot. I've talked about like how sometimes my smart TV, I'll be watching one thing, like one app or whatever on there, like say Netflix, and then it'll turn to Hulu by itself, or the TV is off, not off, but like it'll be like on standby, like not in use or whatever, and it'll be on standby, and all of a sudden a program starts playing out of nowhere. It's very creepy, especially if you're like taking a cat nap on the couch, and then all of a sudden like blaring is like, you know, a show that you were watching before, but you turned it off, and then it comes back on by itself. Fucking creepy. But the light flickering is a big one in my house, because like I'll change the light bulbs. I thought it was bad wiring. It's not. Because there's no way that certain things that are on the same circuit are all working, but the only thing that's not working is the lights, including in the refrigerator. But you can hear the refrigerator still going. Like, that doesn't make sense. Or I'm cooking and the overhead light, because I have an electric stove. I hate electric, but it is what it is. At least I'm able to cook, right? Attitude of gratitude. And the overlight is flickering, but the stove is fine. It's on the same circuit. So how is it? That's not bad wiring. That's something else. So it's always in the kitchen for the lighting. But yeah, weird shit like that happens with me all the time with electronics and stuff. Very strange. Very strange. But yeah, it can get a little creepy though when like certain things happen. Things, like I said, things happen all the time. I remember at my old apartment, my my air conditioner, the thermostat on it, it was digital. Yeah, it's definitely ancestors. And you know what's funny? This is what I was about to talk about. See, me and you are connected, girl. The thermostat, oh, I'm getting chills. Nana. I was doing a reading, and then I looked over. So I told me to look over, and I was looking at the thermostat, and the numbers were going crazy on the thermostat. They kept going up and down, up and down, up and down. And I was like, what the fuck? It was during a reading in my room. And I was like, Mikey, come here, my son. I was like, Mikey, come here. It's like, what? What's up, Mom? Everything okay? Like, because I sounded frantic. I was like, do you see that? He's like, and he's looking. He's like, why is it doing that? I was like, I don't know. I think someone's here. He's like, who are you trying to talk to? I was like, I was doing like it was one of my first times using my ancestor deck. And he was like, that's crazy. I want to stay. And then I was asking questions to my Nana and asking if it was her and stuff. And then lo and behold, it was her. And I'm just like, oh my God. And then not too long after that, it probably was like literally within a couple of days, some weird shit happened in my son's room. And it was my grandfather, so his great grandfather, my grandfather's old Fender amp. We're talking about a really good one, like which one was it? The Reverb something. It's from the 60s or 70s, and they don't make it anymore. So I have one of the few models that are still around of it. And my son, as you guys know, like if you've been following for a while, he's a musician. So he's playing in his room, and then all of a sudden the thing started. Something fell off of a shelf, and then all of a sudden the amp started acting like it was like trying to tune into a frequency. And he got scared. He was like, Ma, something's going on in my room. And mind you, this is after a couple of days prior to the air conditioner. So I'm like, what the fuck? So I go in there and I can hear like it's like tune, like it sounds like something trying to tune up. It wasn't like your typical like feedback or something like that. Like if you got like a microphone too close to a speaker or something. It wasn't like that. It was different. And I was like, this is fucking weird, bro. And then I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, well, this is your great grandfather's amp. I wonder if he's trying to communicate. Lo and behold, I did a reading, and it was him. And it was the summer right before he was about to go move to LA. And then when I did the reading was saying basically he wanted, one, he was proud of him, because my grandfather was a musician too, obviously, like he had like the amp and stuff. He was a musician as well. And he was like basically saying, definitely, hone in on your dreams, but don't let that lifestyle out there get to you, because a lot of people in my family have met their demise to drugs and stuff like that. It was a warning for him to, dream big, but be cautious out there. And lo and behold, he's seen some shit. He saw a lot of stuff, because he was going to concert venues and stuff underage and stuff out there. So like he was seeing, people doing coke and all kind of stuff, and I was like, please don't get hooked on that shit, please. Rocker style, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's what they do. They definitely used to do it back in the day. Like when my dad was doing music too. Like that was the thing in the 80s. Oh come on, that's all they did. Let's do a line before we go out there. Woo, you know what I mean? Like that's what they used to do. So it was like a warning. And I brought that up just because you're talking about ancestors and shit coming up and readings, and doing weird shit. They do it. They do stuff like that all the time with me. They touch me, like on my arm or something like that when I'm asleep. Or like I think it's I know it's my grandmother who does it. Like she strokes my head like this because she used to do that to me when I was little. Like when I would lay up my head in her lap. So she does that sometimes. And there was one time I had like some helium balloons for my birthday in the living room, like where I'm at now. And I looked to the side. I'm like, the fuck? Why look like, mind you, no draft or anything. It's winter time, so the windows are not open. I'm looking. I'm like, why the fuck is the balloon moving like that? It was going like this, like swaying back and forth, and then it stopped. And I said, if someone's in here, pull on the balloon 3 times. I was like, okay, yep, they did it. And I was like, yep, I'm done. I was scared. I'm not gonna lie. And then like I didn't have any of those activities for a little bit because I think they were like, oh, I think we spooked her a little too much. Let's leave her alone. But yeah, I see stuff like that all the time. It's crazy. Wow. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't. Right? Exactly. But yeah, that was fun to talk about real quick, that quick little tip, because reading is already done, but I love talking about stuff like that, our encounters with spirit guides and things like that, because, they communicate in different ways. I've had conversations with ancestors with candles, like it's very interesting. This stuff could get very interesting. Ooh, I wonder if I should do that one day. That just hit creativity, huh? Having a conversation with ancestors or something, or spirit guides with candle magic. Would you guys be interested in something like that? I would have to get like the right camera set up, but interesting. Keep that as a mental note. That would be kind of interesting. I also have like dowsing rods and stuff like that. I might use those on the channel one day. I haven't connected with those as much as I have with other different divination tools, but yeah, they're interesting to use to break things up a little bit. All right, guys, I love y'all. You guys are the best. And Care Bear, thank you for being so communicative during this reading, and being so supportive. You've definitely been a great asset to the soul tribe. Supporting other people that I have been really inclined to work with, and my soul tribe, my sisters, you're pretty much in there now. So I'm grateful for you. And yeah, for the rest of you beautiful people, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are on the right path. Just get out of there. Don't think so much. You are worthy. You are capable. If anything or anyone has put you in a place where your reality has been distorted and how you view yourself has been distorted, you got to regain your power. Claim that back. You don't let nobody take that from you. Rebuild your confidence, because you're more than capable of so many different things. You can do hard things. But yeah, definitely transmute this energy and do some great things with it. Right? What do you think, Granny Man? What you think? Do you agree? Yes. Hi. You agree? Yes. Ren says that she agrees. You want to say bye? You want to say bye to everybody? Yes. You want to say bye? Hi. She's like, you've been neglecting me for going on 2 hours, mother. All right, I love you, mama. All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your evening, and yeah, do something nice for yourself soon too. We talked about that as well. Yeah, self-love, self-care type vibes as well. I'm picking up on. Yes, the weather is nice. Get dressed up, go out, with your friends, like especially the ladies. Go do some brunch or something like that. you know be outside a little bit, but be responsible while you're out there. And be safe. All right, guys, you guys have a great night, and I'll probably pop in again tomorrow. We'll see. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah, I'll probably pop in tomorrow. So until next time, my loves, you guys have a great night. Mwah.